From Ed Walsh Field on the campus of Manhasset High School, one of the best rivalries on Long Island, two of the best teams in Nassau County. It's Manhasset and Garden City. A rivalry is renewed on the final day of the regular season right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Alessandro's of Manhasset. Craving authentic Italian cuisine? Come to Alessandro's Italian in Manhasset. Located at 1496 Northern Boulevard, we offer mouth-watering dishes made with fresh ingredients, just like Nonna used to make. From handmade pasta to classic wood-fire pizza, every bite is a taste of Italia. Visit Alessandro's today for an unforgettable dining experience. Make a reservation at alessandrositalian.com or call us for a table at 516-467-4266. Also want to thank California Closets for their sponsorship. Transform your home with California Closets. From custom-designed closets to innovative storage solutions, we create spaces that fit your style and needs. Make the most of every inch with personalized designs that are both beautiful and functional. We have showrooms in Cold Spring Harbor, Garden City, Roslyn, Mineola, and many more you can find online. Schedule your free consultation today and bring your dream space to life with California Closets. We welcome you inside the booth here at Ed Walsh Field. Dylan Butler alongside Al Freeman. And Al, it is the final day of the regular season. From now on, these teams are playing win-or-go-home soccer. Not a lot on the line, technically, between these two teams, but you can never say that when Manhasset and Garden City meet on any sporting field.
Technically is the right word there, Dylan. It boils down to this.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any teams looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
Here comes the 1-0. Hit on the ground at first. Twins up with it. Feeds to Varela. It's a no-hitter! And Division's moving on. Nassau County AA champions.
As West barks out the signal. West is going to keep it himself inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Southside.
Varsity Media offers sportscast coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Manhasset High School. Dylan Butler, Al Freeman here with you, and Al, we meet now the head coaches for both of these teams, and we do offer our condolences to Garden City head coach Paul Cutter. Just lost his father had to go overseas for the funeral. So our condolences to Paul Cutter in his 14th season as Garden City head coach. On the other side, it's Mark Giordano. His 11th season as Manhasset head coach. A Hopog 2000 graduate. Played his collegiate soccer at Siena. Hey, he's still playing today. Playing, was it over 40 ball? I think he said it was. And you know, when you've got some of the dads that you have on this roster, that you've got some quality soccer players out there. You mentioned one of our sponsors, right? Alessandro's. Well, Alessandro Cuista was a terrific soccer player in his day. You've got Armando Petrocelli, his collegiate soccer at Harvard. So you've got some, you know, this is not any run-of-the-mill soccer out here.
I've got to tell you, the over 40 league is no joke.
Yeah. So just about set to start here at Set. And by the way, what a rendition of the national anthem sung by Adam Armendariz, right? Had his uniform on, ran down to the field afterwards.
That's another thing that makes high school athletics so great. That kids are more than just an athlete. They're scholars. They're theater, and they're performers.
Yeah, showing his versatility there. So opening moments here, Garden City in white. And as we heard from Paul Cutter in our conversation with Hamal, he wants to have a little bit more control of this game and also have his guys aware of maybe different tactical nuances that maybe Manhasset might throw their way.
Well, what's different here, Dylan, is the fact that when they were playing at Adelphi with all the hype that went into the pregame and all that seemingly was on the line, you can't blame the kids for being a little amped up and playing a little differently. I think you're going to see them play a little bit more settled today, both teams.
And it is the first shot, an ambitious effort from distance. That's an easy save for DeConza. And now Manhasset, they'll look to build out of the back as well. Neither team particularly wants to have the ball in the air. Manhasset is actually a smaller team. There's some size on this Garden City side, so they would prefer not to have to try to battle for 50-50s in the air.
Well, Garden City in years past used to be, I won't say a little slower, I'd just say they were more patient. I think they've been more diversified this year. They'll play their patient style, but then they'll turn around when they think they have it, and they'll play directly. And I think it's worked well for them.
As we said in the open, Manhasset down 5 starters. Andrew McCormack, the freshman left back, is out. And then you've got a trio of captains, which hurts you in multiple ways, right, Al? You've got Cole Thalheimer, Luca Bicicletta, Dylan Bordieri, all out, and Gavin Feldman. Unfortunately, he's likely out for the year. So those are all guys. You hope that first 4 is back in time, and with all, in all likelihood, there's a hope of a bye, certainly, for Manhasset in the first rounds, which would allow those guys to get back to full health a little bit.
Well, that's going to be huge for them to get those guys back. But this is an opportunity for these other guys to step up, get some more meaningful playing time. And in the playoffs, again, it's all hands on deck. You never know when you're going to have to come in and off the bench and perform. And when you're one and done, it's best that you have a little on-field experience to do it. So some of these guys who are playing today who haven't gotten much time, they're getting on-the-job experience.
That includes Vasily Tumas, who just threw the ball in, number 12 for Manhasset, the sophomore in his second start at left back. Turnover, and now Set looks to attack. That's Ubasi. Justin, the junior, he just cracked the 11. Woodbine, the interception just momentarily.
Well, one of the things that you see early on is that Woodbine, not just that he's big, that he's fast.
Yeah.
He has a great first step, and he's on you, and eat before they want to.
Miles Watson is also pretty fast, so DeConza had to make sure that he got to that ball quick, rolls it out, and now Manhasset will look to build out of the back. Garden City, they'll press high.
And if Manhasset can build out of the back and establish that, that's going to build their confidence, but push Garden City to even work a little harder to press as high as they are.
Unlike the game we had last night on the Varsity Media Sports Network between Syosset and Oceanside, which ended in a 2-2 draw, that was for seeding in that last regular season contest in the AAA. This one, not the case. As a good throw, but that's, again, not to say there's nothing to play for, certainly. And that's one thing Paul Cutter said after losing in last year's county final to Manhasset. He said every game between these two programs until I retire will be played like a county final.
And that's the open, honest nature of Mr. Cutter. He's telling you exactly how he feels and exactly how his players feel. But a word about last night's game, seemingly they had something on the line, but it was just second or third seed, and they didn't know who they were going to be matched up with in the first round. This is, on a lot of different levels, very important for both teams. For Manhasset especially, as we mentioned at the outset, to prove that they're able to stay with Garden City, and if they get matched up a third time, to beat them on the third time when it counts in the playoffs.
Seeding's still to come. I believe that's what, tonight?
The seeding is tonight. So by tomorrow, the mystery will be solved.
These programs, though, it would likely, we expect, to be the top two seeds.
I can't comment because, no, I said, seriously.
No, I know.
The committee hasn't met, nor has it discussed any of that. So, and there are games to be played today, including this one.
Look at Miles Watson fighting through. Left-footed shot blocked well. Cleared out for a throw.
And that's what Watson can do to you. He's a stalker, and he knows when to step in and into the passing lanes.
And he doesn't need much time or space. Left-footed shot towards the goal. DeConza got a piece, tries to chase it down. He's off his line, and he does manage to get ball out. It'll be a throw for Garden City. Opening moments here of this rivalry contest. That's Connor Griffin stepping onto the track. Near post trying to find Woodbine. Punched out momentarily by DeConza. It's still loose in the box. And then cleared away by Manhasset. Charlie Coster. And this is what Garden City wants to do as well.
And that's why they get their goalkeeper involved in the offense. He's right. The intent here is to spread Manhasset's defense out.
And they want to play sideline to sideline, get the field as wide as possible. Here's Woodbine in the center of the park. When we saw them play against Southside, Woodbine was more of a number 10. Today, he's an 8. He's a guy who can play multiple positions for this Garden City squad, and the Trojans there offside.
And will play multiple positions in the course of the match, depending on what the needs of the moment are. But by spreading, we talk about by spreading Manhasset out, who wants to control the middle and keep the middle clogged. Strategy is to say, no, you can't.
Malazzo puts it back in the...
Strategy is to say, no, you can't.
Malazzo puts it back into play. 50-50 challenge. Ball sent out toward midfield. Now the Trojans look to come away. Played on the ground looking for Watson's feet. Good interception. That was Malazzo to do so.
That was well played by Malazzo right through the sequence. He stayed with the attacker, got the ball, and then made a precise pass into the middle third of the field.
Giardino said if he's comfortable with anybody playing Watson 1v1, it is Gianluca Milazzo, who the kids here call Bron, because he's a guy who can, like LeBron, do everything for this Manhasset squad.
Well, certainly on that last sequence, he showed his mettle, because he took a difficult attack and made it simple and then played out with precision.
And both Milazzo boys will be right at the heart of key matchups today, because we mentioned Watson and Gianluca Milazzo, but also Joe Milazzo as the number 6 for Manhasset. He'll have to deal with Luca Profeta, the guy who kind of runs the show as the number 10 for Garden City. So here's a throw. Won by Manhasset, but possession is maintained by Garden City. Ball clipped forward, looking for Woodbine, but DeCanza grabs that one easily. They knew that DeCanza would be a captain, regardless of where he played this year, Al, and even if he was the number 2 keeper. They found out pretty much right away, August 26th, that he would be the guy.
But I think that in fairness to him, it's easier to be a captain when you're on the field. You can do it from off the field, and kids have done it, but it's easier to be on the field and be the captain. And he earned his spot, and he's performed very well throughout the season.
DeCanza, a guy who never played goal before last year, was the backup a year ago, got into the LIC because of injury and yellow card, but he took the team over on day number 1. 10 clean sheets to his name this season. Ball to the middle of the park.
By the way, that's become one of my favorite expressions, clean sheets.
Yeah, same here. Ball clipped forward. Good job stepping in to that one by Costa. And a foul was called against Manhasset.
One of the things we've seen in the early going is that Garden City is not afraid to take long-range shots. So DeCanza's got to be ready, from everywhere. Sometimes keepers will think, well, there's no shot coming, and they relax. Do it here. Garden City will burn you from the outside.
Good job by Fargione stepping up, getting to Woodbine. He clips it forward, and he finds an attacker in the channel. Good interception by Manhasset, though. That player that was taking a touch was Jack Costa, number 7. Ball out for a throw for Garden City. 13th minute. No score yet. Costa tried to cross the ball over. It goes over the end line for a goal kick.
One thing we've learned from this game, and certainly from watching Costa against Southside, he uses his body exceptionally well to shield defenders off and get off passes and strikes.
Yeah, Costa, 3-year varsity player, 5 goals and 8 assists on the year for the Trojans. A guy that really didn't play a lot on varsity the last couple of years. He plays center back for his club team. So again, showcasing that versatility. There's Sebastian Valenzuela in the midfield. Seba, they call him. And here's Milazzo. He'll have free reign to attack. Good slide tackle, because that pass was intended for Miles Watson. Throw in for GC. It is an active day here on campus. When we walked in, you saw field hockey and the girls' soccer team practicing. On the opposite field here, it's the football team, and it's Watson. Look at Watson, right foot, Watson off the bar, and DeCanza, it actually deflected off of DeCanza and out, so we'll have a corner. But Watson, dangerous early on for the Trojans.
And that shot was from about 25 yards out, and Garden City has shown that they can turn and hit the long ones. And that was a very dangerous strike.
And there you see it with his right. Tapped by DeConza off that football crossbar, which is out of play. So corner taken short. Cleared out to midfield. And ball sent in to the stands. That was Charlie Costa.
On that last sequence, Garden City committed a lot of players into the attacking third. Manhasset might later be able to exploit that with a quick counterattack.
First substitution of the game, it's Adam Armendariz in, fresh off of singing the national anthem. Has stepped onto the fields and arguably the most dangerous attacking player for Set here this afternoon.
Do we have any statistics on players who've sung the national anthem scoring goals in the same game?
I will have to look that up. I'm not sure. There is a soccer historian, right, in Nassau County. Can we?
I'm not sure that one's in the metrics, though.
You know, in soccer these days too, you've got like XG and all these different types of stats. I don't know if that's one that is out there. That could be a unique skill set.
Well, then I want credit in the book of records.
Oh, for sure, you got it. So to our knowledge, Adam Armendariz, if he scores today, will be the first player in history to do both in the same game.
Well, if it happens, I want an attaboy from Varsity Media.
That is on its way if it happens. Miles Watson didn't sing the anthem, but he can score goals. Watson takes a touch, and there's the finish. Clinically burying it, and Garden City takes the 1-0 lead.
And if you see the replay, Garden City got into a foot race with Manhasset, and Watson was the clear-cut winner here.
And there it was. And Watson wasn't done yet, right? Like, your job isn't done just because you chipped a keeper. You've still got to place that ball into the net.
Did you notice that he brought the ball down in the air and on the run, took a one-time shot? You know, that's a really nice touch.
Goal number 24 on the season for Miles Watson. There's some teams in Nassau County that haven't scored 24 goals collectively. As we restart, Garden City takes the 1-0 lead. He was somewhat overshadowed last year, right? Tommy Paz, so much was made of what he did both for a career mark and an individual season mark, but lost in that shuffle a little bit was a terrific season that Miles Watson had as well. So he's not coming out of nowhere this year. He's just emerged from Tommy Paz's shadow.
Well, when you have two players of that caliber on the field, it makes it easier for both of them because you can't key on just one of them. The other guy's going to be open. So I have to believe that Watson's presence on the field helped contribute to some of Paz's goals and vice versa.
Seba Valenzuela pumps the brakes, feeds it to the right side.
I was about to say a little while ago, now that first goal's been scored, what does Manhasset do? Do they pick up the play a little bit, put a little bit more pressure the other way? How do they respond?
Yeah, it's got to be you can't put all your numbers forward because Garden City obviously is so dangerous. A few touches and they'll have numbers the other way, but they are pushing forward to try to get that equalizer. There's Tumas. Stepping into the channel is Malazzo. But the ball cleared out to midfield, trying to find Watson. What a turn by Watson. And there's that battle again. Mano a mano. Malazzo wins that one.
That was exceptional defense by Malazzo.
And ball just sent up as Garden City did. They just want to push their numbers forward. Malazzo plays it to his right. Armendariz gets a touch and a head and tries to get a second. That header, though, was won by Jacob Cooper, who entered the match. That's Joe Malazzo, number 3. when you're under pressure and you're Garden City, it's a good thing to send it long trying to locate Miles Watson because he could do he could do damage on his own, but also hold up the play for his teammates. It'll be a throw here.
That was good defense on the part of Manhasset there against Watson. Watson was trying clearly to get to the inside, and the defender was not going to let him do that, and he was willing to give up a throw-in if he had to. But it turns out that he got the throw-in instead.
Battle along the sideline on that far side, and it's GC that comes away. Back to Pupke. And you see how quickly, right, Garden City opens up, and they create that width that we mentioned before.
But what you're also seeing is that after the goal was scored, Manhasset has picked up their intensity a little bit, and they're running through tackles a little bit more.
Jacob Cooper throws the ball into Griffin. And again, they'll go backwards. Coster to Fargione. And this more what Garden City wants to do. Quick touches. And that ball sent up that left side. Run onto. Good cross. Watson's header is wide.
There's no question Garden City can get up the field very quickly.
Garden City, the numbers are stunning. Since 2019, they are 92-5-5. A win today would give them a second consecutive undefeated and untied regular season.
And that in itself is quite an achievement because you have a lot of very sound soccer teams competing against them.
But they've also learned their lesson, and that's one thing that Paul Cutter has said. A lot of times, Al, you get a team like that, maybe they're pumping their chest, maybe they're going half steam at practice. Not the case here. Their trainings are crisp, and they are a team very much, and he said there's a lot of guys who, for the past 2 years, lost in county finals. So they are training and they are playing like that kind of a squad that have a chip on their shoulder.
And if you practice that way, you're going to play that way, and we're seeing it here.
Free kick sent in, headed at the edge or inside of the box. And it goes out for a throw for Garden City. A brief stoppage as Connor Griffin gets that cleat tied. Griffin, 3-year starter. Last year was at left back, a guy who can play almost any position on the field, has terrific composure on the ball, tenacious and tough. Everything you want in a leader. Griffin sends it again, trying to locate Woodbine's head. Ball clipped and deflects out for another Garden City corner. Their second of this first half. Profeta will take it. He'll take the dangerous set pieces, and he'll take the corners as well.
The last corner, they played it short. Let's see what they do here.
Profeta will do that again, finding Watson, playing it back to Profeta, goes far post. Off his line was DeCanza, missed the ball.
But he came off his line and prevented a clear-cut strike on the ball, and that was good enough.
A lot of times they say if you're a keeper, you either get the ball or get the man. You want to get something.
I think he did the latter more than the former in that particular case. But again, like we talked about last night, if there are too many restarts in one side of the field, sooner or later it's going to cause a major breakdown.
Profeta goes near post. That ball headed wide of the net. As DeCanza will chase this one down. 17th minute, Miles Watson scored his 24th goal of the regular season. And that's the lone goal on the board right now. 3-0 was the score in game number 1 between these two sides, as you mentioned, at Manhasset Field at Adelphi. Still in Garden City, as Woodbine, a little bit too much on that ball down the far side.
I think he was better served to, hold it or look for a shorter target there.
A couple subs for the Trojans.
That's one thing I think you'll see Paul Cutter do today. He subs frequently anyway, but I think at this juncture, especially with the lead, he's going to make sure that he keeps his troops fresh.
Now we take a look as we have an opportunity at the standings currently in AA3, and very much a 3-horse race. We mentioned Garden City and Manhasset. Obviously, that's the game we have now, but Southside, an excellent squad as well. And then you go Hewlett, Division, Elmont, Belmore, JFK, and Roslyn rounding it out. Woodbine tracks down that loose ball. Now here comes Manhasset. They've got numbers the other way. Armandaris down this left flank. Sends a deep cross, and a little bit too much on that. Goes out for a goal kick.
Well, that's good to know. Manhasset counterattacked, and maybe a little bit of a better strike from the flank might have resulted in a goal-scoring opportunity, but it shows that they're still playing this match to win.
And now they're going to pressure here, Garden City, but look how quickly the Trojans get out. And just as I say that, Profeta's touch to Costa goes out for a Manhasset throw.
One thing I will say, when the ball's being played up here like Garden City just did, it might serve Manhasset well to have their weak side deep personnel retreat a little bit so that there isn't any through ball that gets Watson loose.
Armandaris puts it up in the air. Woodbine wins that one, and an important clearance by Malazzo. Owen McCormack, the junior, starting at right back. That's where he's been since that first Garden City matchup. Cross sent in. Abassi was the intended target. And there's Malazzo again, stepping in to that passing lane.
Malazzo so far has been a brick on defense. He's not afraid to challenge anybody.
And there's Pupke, puts it in the air. Good save by Profeta. And seemingly out of nothing, Garden City nearly had an opportunity. DeConza gets it up. 50-50 challenge. Yeah, Live will more often than not win those. Profeta turns. There's Woodbine. Subtle touch to Watson. Explodes in the box. Watson down. He wants a PK. Cutter does as well. None given.
Again, Garden City showing its quick strike capability.
Play on, say the officials. Here's Malazzo. No VAR in high school soccer.
Nope.
Battle on that far side. Profeta chipped it, and it goes out.
Just the way that Garden City is trying to spread Manhasset out, Manhasset should be doing the same thing, trying to spread Garden City out, keeping the ball on the ground and seeing if they can get some through passes onto overlappers.
Offside, the call against Manhasset. There's a good look at Charlie Costa. Costa has been the center back, but he's also a guy, shows his versatility. He can play the 6. Armandaris drew a double, couldn't get out of that, dispossessed. And there's Jack Costa. To Woodbine, back to Costa. Clips it ahead, looking for Watson. And it will go out of touch for a Manhasset throw. 29th minute. 1-0 the score. Miles Watson opening the scoring. Chipping over to Kanza before the clinical finish. Good job stepping in front there by Vasily Tumas, the sophomore. A guy who was in and out of the lineup this year. Played center back, left back, D-mid. But he's really good in the air. He's an excellent passer, hard tackler as well. And Tumas, these are the games he wants to play in. And he has that opportunity now. Here's Milazzo. Goes to Burnich, his opposite center back. Stepping up, though, taking it away. Here comes Garden City. Miles Watson now playing provider. And an important slide tackle in the box. Those have to be timed just right. Garden City for the throw.
One thing Manhasset has to do, if they're going to make a pass out of the back third, whoever receives it has got to be able to receive and shield. They can't open up like that because the Garden City defender is going to step in and take it away. If they shield, they have the chance of drawing a foul and then keeping the ball down in the other end.
So there goes Griffin on the restart. Didn't get to Woodbine, but it's still alive in the box. Dangerous moments, and Manhasset clears momentarily. They get it out to midfield at least, but that's where Costa stepped up. And some are more effective than others, Al, but it certainly feels like every team that we see, they've got that throw-in specialist, right? It's become such an important tool to utilize.
Yes, and you know, on a scale of 1 to 10 on those throw-ins, I give them about an 8. There's some 9 and 10 specialists. We saw someone last night for Syosset, Proick, who was probably a 9 on that.
Yeah.
He was getting the ball more into the middle of in the penalty area. So far, the throws have been at the post. Maybe that's by design, but.
And Leary at Carl Place, is he just always?
Well, I won't go to Leary at Carl Place because he breaks the scale.
All right. Watson trying to break the scoring scale. Profeta attacks. Here's Watson surrounded. Good touch, and Manhasset just trying to get out of this pressure right now.
And what they need to do when they break free with the ball is find a quick target. They can't carry out of the back. It's going to be stripped.
Ball sent up the sideline and out.
And Manhasset's out here trying to do the right thing. They just have to make decisions more quickly out here because they're not being given a lot of room.
And that's what you get too, right? When you play a Garden City, you have to speed up your decisions. As Griffin will again back it up.
Let's see if Griffin can get into the middle of the area here.
All right, we'll have your. That's a good one. Yeah. Woodbine flicks it on. DeConza got just a piece. Second shot and a good save by DeConza.
Well, that was by
Dylan
design.
Fisher.
That throw was on a line. It wasn't a lollipop throw. He was going for the head of his teammate right there, and that almost resulted in a goal.
Yeah, Woodbine flicked it on. Fisher put it on target. And DeConza made the save. Here's Woodbine. Nice touch. Goes to his right. Finds Costa in space. Costa against Milazzo. Sends it across. DeConza came off his line. It's still in. Now they'll battle at the corner flag. Like it's the final seconds of the match. Garden City wins the corner.
Defender did a good job about not letting Costa get fully turned there. That's why they were able to make the save.
Fourth corner for the Trojans. 3 from this near side corner flag. Profeta has taken all 4. One on this side has been short, and Watson makes that run for the short corner. Turns, and the ball cleared for a Garden City throw.
Short corners have been traditionally a hallmark of Garden City play. They like the short corner, even going back to the previous coach, Carlo Mazzarese.
I'm a fan as well because it forces the defense now to spread out their numbers. It's not just a jumble in the box. And
Yes.
even on a short, you could play short and then go long.
Yep.
Now Manhasset, they were attacking third. Abbasi puts it on the ground, cleared out towards midfield. Costa chests it down, turns, and that is well offside.
Well, Bossi had a chance there. His pass was slightly off, but he made the right call, looking to get it forward. He just missed the target by a hair.
Abbasi, 5 goals, 3 assists on the year. Just cracked the starting lineup last week. And Giordano said he's not going anywhere. His first game was against Hewlett, had a brace, had 2 goals and 2 assists against the Vision. He's a guy, and we talk about it often now, when you get your opportunity, you earn it first in training, and when you get your opportunity, what can you do with it? And Abbasi has proven that he's been a game changer on attack for Set.
Well, that's what good coaches do. Dylan, they look to see from the kids who are not starting who can step in, who can move up. The door is never closed on those kinds of things.
Costa turns, Milazzo slide tackle. And it's taken away. That's Joe Milazzo pushing it forward.
Good defense there. Good attempt at counterattack.
Ball sent high in the air. Abbasi unable to get a piece, but he did get a piece of the Garden City player, so a foul called on Manhasset inside the final 4 minutes of this first half.
I don't know that Manhasset's going to be able to play that kind of long ball into the attacking third. They have a disadvantage in height there.
Here's Milazzo. It was Fisher, the right back, who had stepped up. Here's Watson. Profeta has space. That shot blocked. Still has it. Fisher to Watson. Woodbine takes a settling touch, a second touch, and has a go. Why not?
Garden City's attackers get off shots really quickly. They do not let the turf grow under their feet. If turf grows, actually.
Kanza puts it on the ground. And now Manhasset will look to play. Burnich. He more than held his own in that first matchup against Garden City. He was unfortunate to have conceded an own goal, but he's gotten better each and every game this year. Such calm on the ball. A foul called against Garden City, so maybe an opportunity here now for Manhasset in front of their own bench.
Well, we've talked about the importance of set pieces in the regular season, and it's magnified as you go towards playoffs.
And this is literally a set piece. See what I did there with Manhasset set?
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
I'm trying to ignore it, but I got it.
Ball sent to the box, headed clear, not out. Left-footed shot wasn't there. Second opportunity taken away, and now here comes Garden City the other way.
And this is where Manhasset has to turn on the Jets not to give this guy a clear path toward goal.
An important slide tackle.
Again,
Big win by Burnich.
Burnich, another great defensive play, committing to stopping the ball.
Here's Woodbine. He just looks bigger every time we see him.
Maybe you're getting shorter.
Could possibly. That is a fair point, Al. Far side, inside the final 90 seconds of the first half. Good ball. Woodbine gets on it. DeConza the save. The headed rebound goes wide.
And that was really important, not just because it was going to be another goal, but it was going to be another goal before halftime. And that really would have put Manhasset on their heels. So it was an alert save by DeConza.
Yeah, his 5th of this first half. Here's Burnich. So calm on the ball inside the final minute now of the first half. Garden City would love to get one more. Here's Fisher, and he puts it through the football goalposts.
Again, if Manhasset is going to be competitive, they have to do their utmost to spread Garden City out, because when you try to push a pass into a narrow slot like that, Garden City is going to be all over that and have a quick counter.
DeConza in no hurry to put this ball back into play. The field has been tilted for Garden City, so DeConza probably would like nothing more than just to get out of this half without conceding. Here's Malazzo. Just sends it forward towards midfield, and that is the horn for the end of the first half. It was a first half that was very much owned by Garden City. They play the ball long, and there's Watson. One touch, and a second to put it in the back of the net. That's the difference right now between these two rivals. Garden City has a 1-0 lead at the half. We'll have first half stats and highlights and much more when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Thank you for watching Varsity Media, the leaders in New York high school sports coverage.
This is Stephanie's favorite view, where Stephanie becomes Stephanie. This makes Stephanie think ironing is fun. Sometimes. We know Stephanie, so we added this for outfits for gardening, dancing, and closing the deal. That's a smart outfit. This is a smart drawer. Like Stephanie, there's always room for surprises. This is Stephanie's Closet, a space designed by California Closets, a company built on listening to Stephanie and you. Schedule your free design consultation now.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any teams looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
Here comes the 1-0. Hit on the ground at first. Wins up with it. Feeds to Varela. It's a no-hitter. And Division's moving on. Nassau County AA champions.
As West barks out the signal. West is going to keep it himself inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Southside.
Varsity Media offers sportscast coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the fall, but spots are limited. Contact us today for football, soccer, field hockey, and volleyball by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports. Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs or call 516-403-2050.
Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
Back at Ed Walsh Field, that's the other football being played across the way as Manhasset's football team gets set for their next matchup. Both beautiful and functional. We have showrooms in Cold Spring Harbor, Garden City, Roslyn, Mineola, and many more you can find online. Schedule your free consultation today and bring your dream space to life with California Closets. So halftime here at Walsh Field. Dylan Butler alongside Al Freeman. And Al, the team that is undefeated, untied, that has had a perfect regular season. Maybe it wasn't a perfect first half, but it was pretty close to it. Garden City, when we get into the stats, certainly heavily slanted their way, but it's only the 1 goal difference right now between these two sides.
Yeah, and Manhasset has to feel good about that because Garden City has been pressing on the attack and had some really good strikes at the ball. But I'm impressed with the commitment that Manhasset has made to their defensive end and going to ground to stop possible scoring opportunities. And again, I think that they can find room on Garden City's flanks with some good passing through the middle and then looking for overlappers on the outside. And then, as we've seen in the 1 or 2 instances where they had good setup opportunities, they have to get that ball in the right place in the middle of the penalty area.
Let's take a look at those first half stats now. And as we mentioned, Garden City, you can see it, right? 13 shots, 6 on frame, 5 saves for Chakanza in that first half. Pupke really hasn't had to do a whole lot in his goal for Garden City. See the corners as well. Garden City had taken all 4. Fouls at a minimum, which we like to see as well. The officials letting these two squads play. It's been a physical but clean first half between these two sides.
Well, the officials will let them play as long as they are trying to play and not trying to injure. And in this particular case, both teams have been physical, but they've been physical in the course of play. And to the officials say, we don't need to blow the whistle.
So these two teams, they met earlier this year, as we mentioned, Garden City winning that one 3-0, and they also met in last year's county final. And what a game that was. Talk about set pieces being the difference. Watch Gabe Feldman get in through the middle of the box. That was the first goal that was scored, 1-0 for Manhasset. But then Garden City, they will equalize. What a terrific set piece there. The headed equalizer. We go to overtime now. And then Gabe Feldman put himself into the history books. Opportunity, Feldman behind, jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman! County title! Manhasset in overtime! That goal, as we've seen, has been part of our commercials, and one person who loves it every single time is Manhasset's head coach, Mark Giordano. He says, hearing me, he said, hearing you, me, Dylan, screaming my head off on the Feldman call, he loves it. Gabe now playing club ball up at Fairfield. He loves watching it every time. What a moment that was for Manhasset in what was a special season. They won their second county championship, the first coming back in 2000 with that 2-1 overtime win. Their season ended in the next round, losing to Smithtown West 1-0 in the LIC, but that was a special group and a special year for Manhasset, and it was, to that point, a special year for Garden City as well. That's why those Trojans on the other side are so hungry. We keep talking about Alessandro's at Manhasset. Well, Garden City on the other side, they are hungry to get past that game again. Remarkably, if they get to the county final again, it'll be their 8th consecutive trip to that game, which speaks volumes of what that program has done year after year under head coach Paul Cutter.
Yes, it does, and the consistency, the stability, the way that they play Garden City ball every year, okay, bespeaks a well-oiled machine, and that's, maybe putting it too strongly, but they really, kids come through the system and they commit to playing the system. They trust their coaches. They trust each other.
So might we have a round 3, which would be in the same location as last year's county final back. That was Farmingdale State University. And if there's a round 3, if there isn't, Al, we'll have that game for you. And thanks to the folks at Orland and Cone, they're making the entire boys varsity soccer playoffs free to view. You can watch it right here on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/varsity media. Should be a fun couple of weeks of postseason soccer as the second half kicks off with Garden City now attacking the goal to our left. Here's Griffin attacking the space. Now clips it over the top. Second ball goes to Watson. Cleared, but just momentarily. Antoletti got a piece for a moment. It was Antoletti's pass out of the back, and what a well-weighted pass it was into Miles Watson's path that led to that lone goal to this point.
That's true, and he deserves credit for that pass, but that was a world-class touch, bringing that ball out of the air, down to his feet, and in one touch, putting it past the keeper.
Griffin will rinse and repeat. That throw-in went out, so he'll track down this ball. He's gained a couple of yards. So this throw will be significantly closer to the corner flag. Woodbine tried to flick it on. Cleared but not out for Manhasset.
Now, everybody on the Manhasset field knows that throw-in is going to Woodbine, but they have to make it as uncomfortable as possible for him to do anything good with it, and keep him from getting off a good pass from that backhead or anything like that. And to this point, they've done a better job. They being Manhasset.
Ball in the midfield. Milazzo, Manhasset, they're a rhythm team, right, Al? They want to get touches. Both of these teams do, but Manhasset really, we'd be hard pressed, I think, to see 2 or 3 passes strung together. They've just not had enough of the ball.
They really haven't, but they can make it work for them, because if Garden City is going to come after them, if they get spread out, they weren't spread out on that last sequence, but if they can get spread out into the proper angles, they can make Garden City pay for overcommitting.
Woodbine intercepts that pass. Milazzo fights to get it back. Woodbine, though, still on the ball, clips it towards that far side. It's a foot race, and it will go out for a Manhasset throw.
Well, just what Woodbine did there, which is break 3, look up, and then try to play a ball to the other flank, is what Manhasset should be trying to do.
Woodbine back at it, trying to find Watson. He did. Milazzo comes in to clean that up.
And kudos to Milazzo. He just waited there for the attacker to make his move, and he was right there to parry it away.
We'll have a stoppage of the clock. Substitution for Manhasset. And hold the phone again. I think they'll reset the clock, perhaps. And that will be the signal from the official. So 36:48 was the official wanted on the clock. Game will restart with Garden City's throw. Ball sent down. It's a foot race. And we could hear Pupke. When chasing it down, Koster, what did Pupke say? You've got me. So Koster didn't even have to look, knew that Pupke was in a position to be an outlet for that pass. Here's Watson, a little tug. He's beat his defender. Watson sends it towards the far post. It took a deflection and out for another Garden City corner.
And again, 2 touches and then a quick direct pass down the field, and you have the recipe for a good goal-scoring opportunity.
Profeta to take as he has each of these corners. Clips it near post. Doesn't beat the first defender, but he'll have another opportunity, another corner for the Trojans. Garden City, as we said at the top, 15-0 overall, 13-0 in Conference AA3. Coming into this game, 68 goals scored, 69 now, only 6 conceded. Profeta, again, near post, and again, headed away. Ball loose, and Abassi will get on it. Abassi pumps the brakes, felt the pressure, wisely goes back, as now Manhasset will look to keep possession. Joe Milazzo in the midfield handed off, but as quickly as Manhasset had possession, Garden City takes it back.
There again, I think Manhasset would have been better served instead of have the ball played into the middle from one side and then go back to that side where most of the players are massed. You'd be well served to look to the other side and see if you can't catch someone open on the wide side.
Yeah, we haven't seen, I don't think, any switches of field for Manhasset to this point. Here's Watson explodes in the box. Watson pumps the brakes, has 3 defenders on him. Just sent a cross towards the goal, and DeConza made the save and rolls it out to Burnich. Plays to feet. Battle in the center of the park. 26 is Ivan Burnich, the younger brother. Just a freshman. But such an intelligent player. The Burniches and the Malazzos are not just teammates, Al. They're neighbors as well. So they already come in to...
What, do they live down the street from one another?
Yes. So they already bring that camaraderie with them. And that's 4 combined. You got 2 Malazzos. You've got 2 Burniches. You've got 2 McCormicks on this team as well. A year ago, you had 2 Petrosellis.
Well, that's the way to develop a great soccer program. Have the siblings follow the older brothers.
Burnich plays that Armandaris. There's a switch. And right back the other way. Armandaris takes a touch, lost it though. Now here's Woodbine. Just sends it long. Becomes a foot race. Now the decision has to be made, trying to get a clearance. It goes back to DeConza, who sends it up towards midfield off the chest of Woodbine.
Uh-oh.
Look out, an offside flag comes up.
Good thing for Manhasset
danger
there.
was averted for set.
On that last entry pass by Manhasset into the penalty area, it was too much at the top of the area. They needed to get deeper into the penalty area and hope we get someone behind the defense.
So DeConza to put this one back into play. Final regular season game for both. The only defeat in league play this season for Manhasset was Garden City. They played a non-league game against St. Anthony's last week or earlier this week, and 3 starters ended up getting banged up in that one.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. It added to the injury woes that Manhasset already has, but hopefully they will heal in time to contribute during the playoffs.
Throw in for Manhasset. That's Tumas, the sophomore. That's another way, too, to build up a program, Al, is like when you look at this Manhasset lineup, it's not 10 seniors out there, right? Like it's a good mix of really every class.
Well,
John Burnich, we just saw, he's a freshman. You've got sophomores, juniors, seniors.
Some of this was by necessity because of the injury factor, but again, when you have those kids on varsity, by the time they move through the ranks and get to their junior and senior year, they're already well versed in what the expectations of the coaching staff and what it takes to play varsity ball.
Frank Svechik, 10, had a touch on the ball momentarily. 11, Sebastian Venezuela. He's the leader for Manhasset in assists this year with 5. Good opportunity now as Armandares attack the space towards the right side. Challenge, Pupke has to slide down to corral that ball.
But there was the formula. Get the ball across the field and isolate one-on-one with the defender.
Ball sent up the far sideline. It will be a throw for Manhasset. 51st minute. Miles Watson's first half goal. The only thing separating these two squads at the moment. Watson chases this one down. Burnich on him. It will go out for a throw. Good defending by Burnich.
And Burnich has been doing that all game long. He's really committed to preventing incursion into the penalty area. Good job.
And Burnich, a junior. Here's Woodbine. And that goes over the end line for a goal kick for DeCanza. We mentioned those 2 championships for Manhasset in their program history. Well, there's been a lot for Garden City. 12 Nassau County titles, 3 Long Island championships. That dates back to when they were co-champs in 1938. 42. That's before there were classifications in Nassau. So you were just a county champ back then. Their last title came in 2021. They did go back-to-back. They had a shared title in that COVID season in 2020 with Great Neck North.
That season took place in the spring. Because as you might remember, they shut down all fall sports.
Watson pushes it ahead. Good defending by the kid they call Braun.
Well, Braun has been LeBron for most of the game. He's been all over the field. He's been a big bright spot for the set.
There you go. I mean, I came up with a great nickname, I thought, at least for the soccer program, because they're a team that Giordano said, I've not had a team that was more like a family, so close, as here's Watson with an opportunity for Garden City. So I said, I got it. Listen, I can solve this whole nickname issue. You could be Manhasset United. And it would speak truly to what this group is. They are united.
Well, that would be great. So what are you calling the basketball team?
Well, we didn't get that far in the conversation. It's one sport at a time. We're trying to figure out. Here's Joe Milazzo in the midfield and a handball called against Garden City. Woodbine gets his big frame in front of him, making sure there's no quick restart.
Oh, that was a good idea. That he just didn't pull the trigger on that.
So Milazzo goes the other way to Burnich. Burnich up the sideline. That was Tumas. And now some touches of the ball. But here comes Watson. He's got 2 other players, including Woodbine, chasing it down. DeCanza, last-ditch effort, gets the clearance.
Big-time play by DeCanza. That was an all or nothing. He came way out of his net, to put the stop on that.
He lost a shin guard, but didn't concede the goal. More importantly, there you see it. Woodbine coming in. There's that important interception by DeCanza. And on a group that is united, he is the leader of leaders on this team. Sliding challenge by Burnich. Now Garden City will look to possess. Second ball goes to Woodbine, finding Watson. Watson slides it across the face of goal, but wide.
It was a nice pass by Woodbine to free up for the shot. Manhasset is right now committing to trying to rattle Garden City's cages, both in the middle of the field and in the back third, and they're gang tackling, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because they realize that they have to make something happen here.
Good interception. Watson plays it. Now Garden City an opportunity in the box. The interception was made by Connor Griffin. one of our impact players today, 13. And then he continued to join in the attack. Throw in for Manhasset. 56th minute of a 1-0 game. Milazzo finds Venezuela, turns back to Burnich, who takes a touch. Trying to find Svechik. Ball taken away by Costa. What a challenge put forth. Play on as the ball clipped towards the far side. Fisher runs onto it from the end line, tries to send it back towards the edge of the 6, and it goes out for a Garden City throw. So Woodbine to the sideline. He'll get a rest. And that ball deflected out for a corner.
Garden City is playing methodically in the attacking third, but they're meeting a stubborn challenge by Manhasset, who is committed to keeping the ball out of their net. You know, if they can get that one break again, and you know, maybe they can get off a good strike and equalize the game.
Here's Profeta. Good service. Looking for the head of Fisher this time, who was unable to meet that lofted ball from the far corner, and it will be a Manhasset throw.
Again, as we talked at the outside, some of these players who've been asked to step up from Manhasset today are getting on-the-job training, and they're bringing up the level of their play since the beginning of the match.
And you can see the confidence growing as well for Manhasset. But as Paul Cutter said in our conversation, goals change games. And he thought Manhasset had opportunities in that first one as well, but obviously Garden City came away with a 3-0 win.
It'll be interesting to see at the end of the game how, you know, and the game's still got a half to run, a half of a half to run. What Paul Cutter would characterize the level of play of his team today, and I think it's very high, but you know, they don't have the goals to show for it, except the one at the beginning of the first half.
One thing we do know for certain, should Garden City win this game, there will be no big celebrations for the Trojans. And he said the same would be true if they are to win in the first round and the second round of the postseason as well. It's all about the county championship.
Well, that would be in character with what their mission is for the season. So you wouldn't expect to have big celebrations.
There wasn't in that first game at Adelphi, and there will not be one tonight if they maintain this lead. Costa plays it back. Good turn for Costa. Coming in, we just saw Tommy Schreier. He's the one who replaced Woodbine. Earlier in the year, we saw Schreier as a number 10. Here's a good ball by Profeta. Clip service. Watson, second chance, just over the bar.
Again, Watson stripped the ball and then launched a quick shot. That's the way to do it.
And actually, that one took a deflection, so it will be a corner for the Trojans. Profeta. He was on varsity as a 10th grader. Last year spent the year abroad in Germany. It's a pretty good place to hone your craft, right? And
yeah, real good place to hone your craft.
very technical, crafty. Profeta has taken over that number 10 spot.
And I believe Mr. Woodbine played in Switzerland at some point.
Yeah, I don't know if they played against each other at the time.
That's a fair stretch.
Maybe there was some international tournament there
possibly
between the
so.
two countries. Can't confirm nor deny. Good battle between the two in midfield. Good win by Seba, Venezuela.
Now, that was good. That was called a dangerous play, but you got to like what number 10 did. He committed his body to play and go through the play. He just got unlucky because his feet went out from under him.
Yeah, 10 is Frank Svechik, the sophomore. Around this time last year is when he got inserted into the starting lineup, and he's been there ever since. Here is Watson. Pushes it back. And having it go from distance was Griffin. Well, he had the time and space.
One thing about DeConza, he's been under constant attack throughout the match, so he's tremendously alert, and you can see that he's ready to play any ball here.
On the other side, Pupke's not really had to do much in terms of saves, more organizationally out of the back. We've heard him communicate to his defenders, telling them where the ball is, where...
Well, you made my point for me, which is that one way that you can stay involved in the game if you're not having to make a lot of saves is to be vocal and have communication with your teammates and keep the mind active, even if the body is standing around a lot.
So foul called against Garden City. Milazzo backs it up, as he's done often, plays it to Burnich. And you can see every Garden City player, whenever there's a ball played to a Manhasset player's feet, they are right on that player. They're not letting them turn or have time on the ball. Same here with Milazzo. Woodbine back in the game.
Well, the way to combat that are two things. One, when you have the chance, quick touches, get them chasing you, don't hold the ball.
Joe Milazzo and Woodbine, shoulder barges. Foul called against Woodbine.
Well, Milazzo probably held the ball a beat too long. He might have distributed sooner, but he got the call because he was strong on the ball. But you don't want to make a steady diet of being run over by Woodbine.
No. Armendariz to serve this ball in. There's players all lined up just inside the 18. Clip service. And this goes out for a throw for Manhasset.
Good sequence from Manhasset there.
Tumas will leave it. And
I wonder if they have a short throw in here. Yep, they do.
Armendariz goes to the near corner. This ball served far post. Pupke, I think he might have got a piece.
Nope, I think they call a handball there. But that was an example of a well-thought-out play. Instead of trying to force the throw into the middle, which they weren't going to be able to do, they came out with a short throw, push it back, and they got a goal-scoring opportunity.
Pupke checks his options, clips it to the right by the Garden City bench. Profeta plays it forward. Fisher up the sideline. And now Garden City gets their numbers forward. Good ball to Costa, but he was offside.
Barely offside, but offside.
Can Manhasset get that opportunity to equalize? Here's Woodbine in the midfield. Taken away. And that, a good call. Advantage was initially called. There was no advantage given. And it's taken quickly as we saw that shirt pull against Manhasset. Here's Woodbine. Takes a touch. Gets it back to his right foot. Woodbine! A golazo for Justin Woodbine. And the Garden City lead is 2-0.
That was a pill. Absolute pill. A beautiful shot by Woodbine. There was not a thing that DeConza could do about it.
Oh, Woodbine, 8th goal of the year. None prettier, perhaps, than that. And we mentioned how big that next goal would be, right? If it's scored by Manhasset, this place comes alive, and there's an energy and a confidence for set. And then Woodbine with an absolute blast. But Manhasset, they will continue to attack.
There's no question about it, Dylan. Manhasset has a lot of heart. They're, as we said at the outset, they're playing with a lot of injuries, but they came to play. Kudos to them. Kudos to the coaching staff.
First matchup was 3-0. This one right now, 2-0. Watson, who chested that ball down, he scored in the first half. And Woodbine in the second half. Paul Cutter will, of course, tell you however we score, we'll take it. But those were two aesthetically pleasing goals.
Yes, they were. But what he said is absolutely the truth. However they're scored, you'll take them.
That's a nice touch into space by Tumas, the sophomore. Throw in for Garden City. Among those subs is a goalie substitution. So DeConza is out. And we'll find the substitute keeper in a moment for Manhasset. It's Alexander Malios, number 1, the junior. There he is. Throwing for the Trojans. Garden City trying to cap a second consecutive perfect regular season.
City has played very methodically, as I mentioned before, all game long. They don't seem to be in a hurry. They don't seem to be overly intense. They just seem to be comfortable moving the ball around and looking for each other.
And methodical for this Garden City team. Watson, good ball, looking for it on this side is Griffin. Malios comfortable with that. Just send it all the way downfield. That's a good first touch to have, right?
Yeah, it's a great first touch.
You've got a Garden City player coming in on you, and
he did well with that.
He did. Burnich plays forward to Malazzo, gets it back to his brother. And the Trojans, off that deflected ball, will have a throw-in.
When Manhasset goes back to look at this tape, they can look at the possibilities of the opportunities they might have had with a better pass here, or a touch across the field there. So they're going to do. There's a lot of positives to be taken from this game, regardless of the result. And as we've said throughout, Manhasset has played strongly. They've played to a nose to nose as much as they could with Garden City. Garden City has just been the better side to this point.
And perhaps if there is a third matchup in the postseason, you return maybe 4 of those starters as well.
And that can make a huge difference. But it's going to be difficult at points. You have a couple of teams out there that are very talented teams. Some we've mentioned, and there's others that we haven't mentioned, but this is going to be a very competitive AA to get to that championship.
As Al said before, he's not commenting on the seeding that will happen tonight, but tomorrow we could all check the website. We'll find out who is where. We'll build our brackets, do our bracketology, and get ready for the postseason. Here's Griffin with the throw. I think these are 1-2, though. I'll just say, I know you can't say it. I'll just say it. I'm not sure who the 3 is, though. That is interesting there as well. You mentioned Jericho. This division has been stacked, especially the top 3. You put Southside, I think, almost in any other division. They might have that division.
Well, that's one of the things about having divisional play. You can't extrapolate that way. You can say I think they would, but you can't be sure.
Yeah, you can in AAA.
You can in AAA.
We know that for sure.
That's for sure.
There's not as many AAA teams. There you see the AA3 standings, and there you see Southside, right? They lost to both of these teams. They didn't lose twice, though. They did draw with Manhasset.
That's correct.
Play a little bit frantic right now. An opportunity for Manhasset. And a last-ditch clearance. Woodbine sends it to the far side. And like you said, if you're Mark Giordano and the coaching staff for Manhasset, you like what you see. You like the battle level. Not that you were worried about it. Not that you questioned it. Burnich, good win, but it goes to Woodbine. Woodbine, what a through ball for Woodbine, and they're off the post. Inches from the third goal was Jack Costa. Al, the cliche is true. It is a game of inches. Costa turns. Plays it into space. 50-50 challenge. And Manhasset comes away. There is an injured set player on the back. And we'll get a stoppage of the clock now. And as you mentioned, too, in that Syosset Oceanside game last night, here's this chance again now. Look at his through ball by Woodbine. Inch perfect.
And that may be one of the differences in the match, is that Garden City's through passes have been more on target than Manhasset's. If Manhasset could get a couple of those types of through balls, they might have put one in the back or 2 in the back of the net. But they just have misconnections. And again, the possibility of those returning players may raise the level of the offensive play there.
You know, one thing Cutter said, too, in our conversation leading up to this game is he loved this kind of a challenge, this litmus test going into the postseason, right? You're playing an opponent that is right there with you. And there's not many around who can say that, as here's Woodbine now. Offside, Garden City. You know, much like last night's game was, Syosset and Oceanside, that's a nice game. You want to play a game like that to go into the postseason.
Yes, you do, especially when you have some time off, you know, so that the AAAs won't play till later next week, so they'll have time to dress their wounds and do a lot of stretching.
Yeah. Foul called against Garden City. Can Manhasset pull one back? You got to imagine that would also be pretty big for the collective confidence of this group.
Yes, it would. They put one in the back of the net. They can, you know, say a lot of things. They can say a lot of things anyway about the positives, but that would really be a shot in the arm.
Well played in. Valenzuela headed wide of the mark, and it's just shepherded out for a Garden City throw. As you see top left, we're approaching the final 6 minutes of this one. Miles Watson and Justin Woodbine, a goal in each half, as Garden City with a 2-0 lead. That improves now their season total to 70 goals for and just 6 against. And they're playing in arguably the toughest conference in Nassau County as well. There's Woodbine, dispossessed. Play a little bit frenetic right now. Woodbine got clipped. Manhasset coaches don't think so. They thought perhaps Woodbine made a meal of that. The clock will stop.
But it goes to show that even with 4 minutes and 54 seconds left, Manhasset is playing the game, and they're not giving an inch here.
Oh, that was a foul.
That was a foul. It's clearly a foul.
We have the benefit of replay up in the booth.
Sure.
The people maybe more emotionally invested in this game don't. Both on the opposite bench and perhaps in the stands. Good turn by Griffin. Watson looking for the ball that was headed on by Woodbine. Ball goes to the far corner and out for a Manhasset throw. Garden City, a little more than 4 minutes away from a regular season sweep. But Manhasset, in this recent history, they've got the game that matters more. As offside again for the Trojans, winning last year's county final in overtime on that Gabe Feldman goal.
And that history stays alive because you guys keep replaying the goal on Varsity Media.
It was a great moment. Maybe not for Garden City. They probably are not fans of that particular commercial, but free kick for the Trojans from midfield. Clipped in, looking for Watson, and good job by Malios.
Ooh.
Oh, Watson wins that challenge. And then Malazzo's got to come in to make sure that Watson doesn't get a second goal.
Fender might have wanted to commit a little bit more to making sure that that ball went over the sideline.
And the attempt was to kind of shepherd the ball out, but it was not going over the sideline, and then Watson kind of snuck in
Watson was
behind.
having none of that.
No. Here's Profeta. We didn't see Profeta in that first match that we had on the Varsity Media Sports Network. That game at Southside was still coming off an injury. But he has really done a terrific job as that engine of the midfield for Garden City. Another corner for Profeta. Headed down and in the net. Set piece, finish. And that was Fisher to get the goal. Matching 3-0 now. What a perfect ball.
It was a perfect ball, and he was in perfect position, and he just out-jumped the opposition.
For Dylan Fisher, goal number 4 on the season. Profeta picks up the assist. And as they did at Adelphi in that first meeting back on October 5th, Garden City with a 3-0 lead. In that game, Jack Klein had a goal and an assist. Fargione and Costa, a goal of apiece. Profeta had an assist as well, made 6 saves for the clean sheet.
There's that term again.
Will Garden City push perhaps for a 4th? Woodbine down again. Little trickery for the Trojans. As we're inside now the final minute of this match. Miles Watson, and they'll just push it around the park now. Garden City will. Woodbine would have been in an offside position, so he lets that ball roll out to that far corner. Watson, though, will challenge. He got the scoring started in the first half on a terrific ball by Jacob Antoletti. And then Woodbine with a sensational finish that made it 2-0. And then Fisher got his head on that Profeta corner to make it 3-0. And that is the way this one will end. So Garden City, perfect through the regular season. But Al, do you see a celebration by these Trojans?
I do not, and it's in keeping with their mission from the beginning of the season. This is a stepping stone. It's obviously a meaningful one, finishing the regular season unbeaten, untied, but it is just now the gateway to the next season.
Yeah, now the games really matter for both of these programs. Garden City, they improved to 16-0 overall, 14-0 in league play. They are the favorites this year. They're looking to get to an 8th consecutive county final, but they were the favorite last year as well when Manhasset ended what at that moment was a perfect season. Garden City had won 18 consecutive games, but Manhasset won the game that mattered the most in overtime in the county final. Garden City took both of these regular season games. Could there be a round 3 for maybe another county championship?
Well, everything's on the table, but it is, as I've alluded to during the course of the evening, there's some very good teams out there. We'll have a lot to say about who gets to the final.
Al's taking the field. I'm going to take these two in the final. Let's see in a couple weeks where we're at. But Manhasset, they are now 11-4-1, 11-2-1 in league play, and they will lick their wounds. They'll get back to the training ground. They'll hopefully get healthy and bring back some of those starters, and they'll try to make another run at another county championship themselves. It's going to be a lot of fun this postseason coming up.
Boy, it's going to be a lot of soccer here in Nassau County. There's going to be games.
Tactical Director Chris Sweeney, for Joe Foster and Jeff Damo, bringing you all those great moving images, and for my broadcast partner, Al Freeman. Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Manhasset. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.